Operator overloading. C++ has a special ability to provide the operator with a special meaning. This ability is known as operator overloading. Normally we have the operators addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, greater than, less than. We can do overloading in this operator. This all operator has a specific function to do. Now we are overloading this operator to do some more functions. Let me create a class. Let it be sum. I am declaring two variables, int a comma b. Under public, I am creating a class. Under public, I am creating a member function. It is going to be operator overloading function. So I give the name void, and I give any of the operator. I want to do the sum of these two numbers. First, I get the data from the user using this get data member function. So here I have defined void get data, and the next function is going to be void sum. I'm using the plus operator. This function is going to be the operator overloading function. To make this function as an operator overloading function, after void you just mention the keyword operator. So now this is operator overloading function. Inside this parenthesis, I'm creating an object for the class sum. So let it be a. So when I use this operator overloading function in the main function, I will pass a object of the class sum to it. So let me define this function block. Now I'm adding the variable a and the object of the variable. Let me change the object name to avoid confusion. Let it be capital A. So I'm adding the variable of the object capital A. I'm using dot operator, then A. Inside the main function, I'm creating an object for the class sum. Let it be X. Let it be capital X. I'm calling the member function get data using the object X. So now I create another object sum, and the object name is capital Y dot get data. Now I'm going to perform sum of these two object variables X and Y. So to do that, first I say X and I use the plus operator, then Y, then I end it with semicolon. Here first we call the object X, so it goes to X and it goes to the function operator. Because we are using the plus operator here, we are doing operator overloading. Then here we are passing the object Y to this sum A. So the object Y will replace as object A. Now we are performing addition. Let me take a normal member function. Here I take a normal member function display. I'm using dot operator to access the member function. Here in the operator overloading function, I'm using the plus operator instead of dot operator, and I'm passing the object Y to the operator overloading function. Inside the parenthesis, we are having the sum A. We are having the object A. When we pass this object Y to sum A, the object Y will become A now. So we are performing addition here. We don't want to mention this Y inside the bracket. Here we don't want to mention this object inside the bracket, as we are passing this object to here the sum A. So I just remove the bracket. Now if I run the code, first let me enter the value of 3, then 5. The sum going to be 8. So it says sum is 8. If I mention the Y inside the parenthesis, let me save the code. It will give me the same output as before. So let me enter the same values 3 and 5. So now it is giving me as the output 8. Sum is 8. So this is how the operator overloading works. We can remove the bracket also. The X is the object we are calling. we are using the operator plus instead of dot, and we are passing the object y to the operator overloading function. This is operator overloading. A friend function has a special permission to access private and protected member of a class. They are non-member function. They can manipulate the private and protected member of a class. So let me create a class. I name it as data. Under the private, I create a variable int private num. Under protected, I create a variable protected num. So a friend function is a non-member function, so it has to be defined outside the class. So let me do it. First I say void, and the function name is friend. It's just the function name. To make this function friend fun as a friend function, first you mention the keyword friend, then you type the function name void friend fun. Inside this parenthesis, you mention the class name, it is data, and you create an object here, data A. I'm saying. So I just copy this and paste inside this parenthesis. So this void friend function will receive a object of data. Now through this object A, we can access the private and protected member. In the cout statement I'm giving, I'm printing the message first private data using the object A here. I'm saying the object name A dot and private num. So it will access the private num in the object A. In the next cout statement, I'm going to print the protected data. I print the message protected data. I'm using the object A to access the protected num. Now let me try to change the variables private num and protected num. I'm saying the object name A dot private num equal to 45 and A dot protected num equals to 95, and I'm again printing the cout statements. So after this change, I'm again printing this private and protected num. So in the main function, I create an object for the class data. I mention the class name data, and then I create a class, create an object B. So I'm calling the friend function. So I'm saying friend fun, and inside the parenthesis, I'm passing this object B. So this object B will get assigned to the object A. Now using A, we can access the private num, protected num, and we are changing this to. Now if I try to access the private num and protected num directly in the main function, it will throw me an error. When we use this friend function, we can access these values without any error. So inside the class data, I have initialized the private num to 5 and protected num to 10. So when I call the friend function from the main through the object B, I'm calling the friend function and I'm passing the object B. So the B will get assigned to data A, and the data A access the private num and protected num value, which is 5 and 10. So it prints here, and we are changing the private num and protected num value to 45 and 95, and it will get printed once again. Let me save the code and run it. So it says private data is equal to 5 and protected data is equal to 10. After this change, it says private data is 45 and protected data is 95. So through the friend function, we are accessing the private and protected data in the class data, and we are also changing it. This is how the friend function works.